All year round, Frontier Home Products and Design has what you need to make your home comfortable and beautiful. Relax on a new timber tech deck designed by Frontier's experts. A new fireplace from Frontier Home Products Fireplace Gallery adds warmth and serenity to any home. Beauty and versatility at Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 4213 Peachtree, East 5th, next to the Bayfront Highway.
Frontier Home Products and Design Center. Discover a new frontier.
PA contractor number PA039007.
Get paid to drive. Start a new career behind the wheel at the EMTA. If you are looking for a high-paying and rewarding career with full benefits and paid training, stop by or apply online today with the EMTA. Plus, EMTA riders can now enjoy free Wi-Fi on new, clean, and environmentally friendly buses to travel all over Erie County. Visit ridethee.com for more information.
Get on board EMTA. Get on board EMTA. Get on board.
Welcome to TalkErie.com's Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast. Every day, we tackle the biggest issues that the Erie PA region faces. Stay informed and involved as we advance the narrative of Erie. Now, here's Joel Natale.
Back in studio, the president of Gannon University, Dr. Walter Iwanenko Jr.
Junior, that's right. Little Waju, as I was in the growing up Polish in Buffalo.
I was going to say, what was your nickname? What did the boys call you?
Well, I don't know if I want this to go public, but yeah, but in the house it was the Polish name Waju. So,
Waju,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Happy spring semester here. Yeah. Again, so we're having super cold weather here. Yeah. What's the university do?
So, we monitor the weather closely just because we have 1,300 students living on our campus in our housing. And, this time of year, it's always a concern to making sure that all of your facilities are up to par. Because of the really cold weather, we've had, a couple properties where, it's difficult for the boilers to keep up when the temperatures really drop. So we've got a great facilities crew, maintenance crew, and they've been working on it. But number one is student safety, staff safety, make sure everybody's is kept safe and sidewalks are cleared, which again, the crew's doing great work.
Do you, do you still have that capacity to go to virtual learning?
We do. In this day and age, Joel, the whole idea of closing down the campus and not having classes doesn't exist. I mean,
okay.
Doug Oathout, he's our chief communications officer and chief of staff, so we've got messaging prepared. So even when we anticipate storms, we send out messages saying, hey, be ready in case we have to go online. And so it's become part of the new way of delivering education.
But, some of us, pride ourselves on sludging, in the city bus to get to class and, that 8 o'clock class in Nash or Zurn or wherever, back in the day, right?
I was talking about this with some friends. There was like a badge of honor, to walk through the snow. And we were talking about the old, we had Wonder Bags. We used to put the bread bags on our feet and then put the boots on to keep our feet extra dry. I was like, yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah,
no, not at all.
No.
Not at all. So there's been a lot happening at Gannon, I would say, in this academic year, and I wanted to start with what kind of, in fact, kudos to Jacqueline from the Marcon team for working late right around Christmas to announce that you guys reached a settlement over the Blasco Library situation in the CLEER. Go ahead.
Yeah, we did. It's we're really pleased that it's come to an end. The Keep Our Libraries public group, the CULP group, we were able to settle, and we're really we're happy that we can meet our goal of the project and educate the public on the importance of Great Lakes health, especially our own Lake Erie, in just a fantastic location in the library. I was there this past weekend with my granddaughter, and there was a special display, treasures found in Lake Erie, and it was basically talking about what washes up on the shore, and they had some activities where you could pick up the objects and feel them and try to guess what they were and where they came from, and all kinds of plastics and metals. The best part of that day, Joel, was I was able to meet a couple kids that came in with one young man, Joseph, came in with his grandmother, and he comes in and I said, "How are you doing?" And he goes, "I thought libraries were boring. This is awesome." And I was like, okay, that was it. That is why we had the vision to put this center in there. And there was another fantastic young lady named Ren who came in with her mother. She was really proud to tell me that was her second or third visit to the library, and she loves going into our NOAA on a Sphere, learning on a Sphere. And that my granddaughter, we sat on a bench and watched. You can actually play about 500 different programs on that. So we watched a couple short 8-10 minute videos, and it was great.
Well, I mean, literally, this storm that's moving across the North America is something that can be portrayed on the NOAA on a Sphere. I mean, I guess it's within a couple hours of current content. You know?
It is. I mean, you can watch the storms come in almost live. There's a little bit of a delay, but it is fantastic. And they have recorded detail of past storms like Hurricane Katrina. You can actually go pull up that footage and watch how that storm came into the United States years ago. It's incredible. Dr. Sam Mason, who's the director of our project, just does a fantastic job. And if you've had a chance to go and meet some of our docents, so these are Gannon students that are in different majors, but they've been trained, and they come in, and we staff the library with individuals that can walk you through how to use the equipment there. So it's really incredible. I learned a ton Sunday. There's 23 different native mollusks. I had no idea of what was under the water in our own bay. So really cool.
What when it comes to the settlement, what were the key points that you feel like that Gannon won some, and that maybe the keep our libraries public?
Joel, there's really not much of a change from the original agreement. If people were following some of the disagreement, it was whether Gannon could be in the library, being a nonprofit, leasing the space. That was agreed on. It was the lease price. So, a lot of people were talking about the lease on the square footage. So it's public knowledge. We're paying about $7 a square foot, but we're not generating revenue. So we're not charging for the services. And when we came up for that number, we had asked the question, what does it really cost to maintain the square footage, the space? And we wanted to contribute and make sure that we are given to the library. So that's how that rate came out. That hasn't changed in the agreement.
Okay.
So it remains $7 a square foot. The length of the lease really hasn't changed. There were some reports in the media that our lease was 25 years. It was always a lease that could be reviewed in 10 years.
Okay.
With some additional 5-year extensions. So if you look at the 10 years plus the 3 extensions, it was 25 years. Actually, the new agreement added another extension, so it's 10 years with 4 extensions. So that didn't change a whole lot. And we also agreed, which we're glad just to be a really good partner and help the library with some of their initiatives. And much of that work had started already. So again, we want to move beyond this.
Sure.
I really appreciate the passion that folks have had for the library, but my message to the community is we have the same intent. We want the library to be there for years to come. but we need to look at how we draw more people into the library. And within the first 2 months of opening up our CLEER project, we had 5,000 visitors.
Wow.
That came in and we worked with. So that's incredible. That momentum has continued. I know on Sunday when I was there were many families that were coming through. It hasn't impacted any other operations, the children's library, the creative spaces, the Idea Lab. It hasn't impacted any of that.
Well, you'd almost want to see, like you said originally, it's like, can we get more traffic into the library? And so that would be a metric to check to say, okay, are we seeing more visits to the public library?
Yeah, and we are tracking that. And I tell you what's really exciting, which are, again, Dr. Sam Mason is doing incredible work. We're planning summer programming in partnership with other groups. And I've talked about this before. The ultimate vision is that we have people coming to Erie, and the library becomes a destination while they're here visiting Erie. And so if we're running, for example, a summer camp for kids, mom and dad can go shopping, they can hit the restaurants while the kids are in camp. Now the kids, the children that are participating can participate in the programming we have in the library with CLEER, going out on the boat, taking samples, getting into the microscopes and doing the analysis. And then they go next door and they're exposed to how ships are built. And there's the Maritime Museum. And, let's get them out to the Tom Ridge Environmental Center. Mm-hmm. There's so much to offer. And I think this is just one more destination. And if we continue to build those destinations along the water, we can drive the economy. We can bring in the dollars we need to continue to grow, which is, we just want our folks and our residents, our community to thrive.
Let's make sure people understand that Sunday program that you brought the kids to, those are continuing through the first 3 months of the year, right?
That's correct. There's additional programming this Sunday. It's all on the website, the Blasco Library website. Okay. Also, we're featuring it at Gannon. So please bring the family down. It's warm. It's warm inside. Yes. There's no wind, and there's just a lot to do. Yeah,
best bet as far as getting down there, take Holland Street down across the bayfront, and then park at the library. Let's pivot here to the iHACK building and First Ascent. And like I said off the air, I think this is the most unreported major development in economic development in Erie in a long time. So give us the backstory on First Ascent, if you would. Yeah.
Well, we started having conversations with First Ascent about 3 years ago already. And I want to give the chamber, our local chamber, credit because they were running their fire and ice business development. They were bringing in businesses and having a competition and selling Erie as a location to build the business. We started having conversations, and when I really learned about what First Ascent was doing, it's incredible work. So it's really about personalized medicine. So they focus on cancer and fighting cancer. And essentially what they've done is they've said, look, we know that everybody responds differently to cancer. So if we were in a room of 20 people, we all got diagnosed with the same cancer, the current method of treatment, we would all be treated exactly the same. Now, the medication levels may change because we're different shapes and sizes and weights and gender, but there's a standard of care. But people respond differently. So what First Ascent has done is said, look, let's take a sample of the tumor. Let's look at individual RNA, DNA sequence. Let's look at the genetics. Let's test that and use AI modeling to determine what are the best medications that work on you, that work on me. And they've had published medical journals, published articles, research articles. They're getting up to an 80% better response to treating cancer than current treatment. So it's incredible work. And not only have they been able to rid cancer in some individuals, they've been able to change the medications to the point where it's more cost effective. They have published studies where cost of medication has been over $200,000 a month, taking it down to $10,000 a month, have better results. And they've also been able to change medications that are really harmful to people's systems that actually they actually damage important organs. Wow. and really change the way that we treat it. So we love what they're doing. We talked about a partnership. They want to move their technology into commercial applications so that they can treat more people. So we're building a lab here in Erie. It's going to be in the iHACK building on the 4th floor. There have been a lot of partnerships that have helped make this happen, to build the funding stack necessary to make this happen.
Didn't you get some DCED money or from some state money or some Fed money?
Yeah, so we just were awarded $1 million in LSA, the local share account dollars that just came in. But we've had we've had funding from ECRA, the Community Foundation, the Lutheran Foundation, RACP. So we actually have support from the city as well. There's a fantastic, very low interest loan program that we have available to use for the project. But this is also a partnership with the community, and this is a partnership with AHN. So not only will the first Ascent commercial lab be there, which, by the way, is when in full capacity, it's going to create about 100 jobs here in Erie, and high-paying jobs. We are partnering with AHN, and we're putting a lab for laboratory training. So AHN and other healthcare organizations don't have enough individuals with the qualifications to process the lab work. So this is also a workforce development project where we'll be offering 2-year degrees, certifications, and 4-year degrees. And these 2-year degree programs, $60,000 salaries right out of the program. I mean, these are dollars where people can support families and contribute to the community. A 4-year degree in lab science, $100,000 starting salaries.
Did we have a lab science at Gannon before?
We didn't. We did not have this particular program. We've had a partnership with AHN for the 2-year program, but it's in addition to the bachelor's degree that we offer at Gannon already. So students will take classes at Gannon and then take their classes at St. Vincent's Hospital. That is going to be all brought into our iHACK facility. Wow. So we'll be able to increase the number of students that go through that program. So workforce, bringing dollars to Erie, fighting cancer. And there's a lot of community partners that have said, hey, we're really interested in figuring out how we can offer this treatment to our local community, to people that don't have the resources to go to other parts of the country to seek treatment. We're going to have personalized medicine options here in Erie, PA, and there'll be nothing like it.
So again, people with cancer will be able to use this technology eventually at iHACK or maybe at the hospital.
Well, the beauty of it is that patients don't actually have to come into the facility. This will be a commercial lab operation where they're processing the samples. So you could be anywhere in the world and have your samples sent to this lab. At full capacity, they'll be able to process and help about 15 to 20,000 samples per year in this facility. So it's just incredible work.
I'm feeling, and you, tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like this is kind of like a page turn to what a university can participate in. I mean, basically, you are, full partner with a commercial lab operation. Is that unprecedented even at Gannon for like that kind of partnership?
I think it happens throughout the country, especially at big universities, R1 institutions. Yeah. It's been much more difficult for smaller or mid-size colleges, universities to develop these partnerships. But I'll tell you, this is critical to the future of higher ed. We're really focused on work-based learning. We believe that our students have to have exposure to the workforce while they're a student, and there's going to be more of this. And this is a big priority on the Gannon campus. Develop more of these partnerships.
It's truly something to think about. Where again, you're creating these jobs, these really high end knowledge based jobs, and it is kind of in the wheelhouse of what a university would handle, right? I mean, pretty remarkable. I got like a minute left, and so let's talk about timing. How do you see this all playing out? When's the build out happening, and so on?
So design work is done. All of the bids are going out for construction, and we are planning a kickoff event right now. March 11th is when we plan to have an official kickoff and bring all of our partners on campus to celebrate the launch. And we're anticipating it should take about 12 months to build the labs out.
And where does that leave iHACK as far as spaces for growth? Because you've been putting stuff in almost every floor now.
So we'll have one more floor for development after this, the 5th floor. So if anybody's interested, it's please contact my office. 10,000 square feet. But we really want to find the right partner, Joel.
That makes a lot of sense.
Quickfill gasoline is made right here in America. United Refining Company, who operates Quickfill, refines its gasoline from North American crude oil in Warren, Pennsylvania. When you buy United Refining Company gasoline at Quickfill, you keep jobs and businesses in America. And you keep American families strong. You don't need to send your money overseas when you buy gasoline. Buy American-made gasoline at Quickfill. Quickfill, driving America.
Looking for amazing finds and incredible deals? Visit Erie City Mission Thrift today. From stylish clothes and shoes to quality furniture and home goods, you'll discover something new each time while changing lives right here in Erie. It's shopping that feels good and does good. Come see us in Erie and Girard. Erie City Mission Thrift. Thrift with a purpose.
Dr. Iwanenko, I wanted to talk a little bit about, what's going on campus-wise. Of course, back in in the fall is when that house was built and Pivot. We tore down Worley. Tell us a little bit about that story there.
Yeah, that was this was a partnership with Mr. Tom Hagen and the foundation. And the Norman House, which was on 7th Street, was picked up and moved, turned 180 degrees and placed on 6th Street. And so the house is actually part of the foundation. Gannon has use of it. What we're really excited about is that house is scheduled to be opened in August, and that'll serve as a hospitality center for the university. We're like a bed and breakfast.
Okay.
Maybe the bed and not the breakfast piece, but people will be able to book it, rent it, stay on campus. So, the university has a lot of folks when we're bringing people on campus for job interviews. We host them. It's a place for us to host when we have business opportunities, but also parents, families, if they want to come visit their student, they will be able to book a room there and stay right on our campus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the vision is to have this really operated by students so they can learn that part of the business as well. Okay,
so they're going to learn a bit about hospitality in all of that as
Absolutely.
Well. Yeah. The merger with Ursilene College in Pepper Pike. Let's get an update on that because there was a significant announcement in the last couple months about that as well.
Yeah, we are on target to complete the final merger by June of this year. We have to work through, and we have been working through several regulatory bodies, including accreditation bodies. Ursilene College and Gannon University currently have separate accreditation bodies.
Okay.
So we've had those visits take place, and we've received approvals. we also have to, Gannon University has to become an approved higher ed entity in the state of Ohio. So we got to be able to give degrees and have Ohio education approval and approval from the state of Ohio to be a corporate entity operating in Ohio. So that is going very well and is on target. Really, the one of the last pieces of approvals that we need is Department of Education approval on the federal level.
Oh, wow.
All indications are that all communications have been positive. And again, we're just waiting for that final approval. At that point, Joel, there will be one corporate entity. It will be Ursilene College campus of Gannon University. Currently, as you referred to more recent announcements, we did complete the change of control process. So right now we're operating two separate corporate entities, but Gannon University has control over the Ursilene corporate entity. The merger by June essentially moves us into one corporate structure under the current Gannon structure.
Do the sisters stay involved at all, or any of the corporate part of Ursilene post June, or are they kind of their ministry is over? I guess
it is. So the Ursilene sisters gave up their corporate control and allowed Gannon to take that over. So. Yeah. We have a fantastic relationship with the Ursilene sisters. And, I just want to say in the world of higher ed, some of the bravest individuals that have been bold have been the Ursilene sisters. The Ursilene sisters and the Ursilene board had made a decision to look for a partner to continue the legacy of the Ursilene sisters and deliver high-quality education. The problem that we're having right now in higher education is that institutions are waiting too long to develop those partnerships, and they find themselves too far down a financial deficit, quite frankly, to be able to survive a merger or an acquisition. So that's happening. We're going to see a lot more closures, I do believe, in the next 5 years in higher ed because there's less students available, and you've got the same number of colleges, universities. There's some amazing, just an amazing fact that I learned recently. There were 700 colleges and universities that started and closed down before the Civil War. Before the Civil War.
Wow.
Because as America as the country was being developed, how we developed towns we would go in, build a college or a university, and then build the town around it. And at the time, when you had a significant population increase and you had a lot of immigration, it made sense. And that's how America was built. Now, the population is not at a point that could sustain the number of colleges and universities that are currently in existence.
I want to ask you is there a place where, let's say, the Catholic bishops are kind of weighing in on the Catholic university infrastructure? I mean, are they making their voice known? Because your hometown of Buffalo,
yeah.
There's a lot of Catholic universities within, 70 miles?
There are, and one of the differences with Gannon University, we're diocesan.
Right.
And there's only... I actually have a meeting in Washington at the end of next week where we're getting the presidents of the current diocesan universities together for a meeting. There's somewhere between 7 and 10, Joel, and here and because what's
it's a big crowd.
Well,
yeah.
But
you could all fit in a Chi-Chi's.
You're not wrong, but. We were calling around and saying, hey, calling different universities, and I was communicating with presidents saying, are you still diocesan? And it's changed over time. When I started at Gannon, there were about 15, but there's either closures or the diocese has decided no longer to sponsor those institutions, so they're no longer Catholic. The majority of of Catholic faith-based, Catholic-founded institutions in the United States are founded by religious orders. So there hasn't been this unifying factor or a pope or bishops to say, hey, let's bring them all together. Now you've got institutions that were founded by the Sisters of Mercy. You have institutions that were founded by the Jesuits, by the Franciscans, but we haven't seen a lot of effort to say, hey, why don't we bring these institutions together into a system? I believe the future is to create these systems, and the Pope Leo has actually used language that has said Catholic universities should be bright stars, but they should also be part of bigger constellations. So I don't know if there's a message in there that says, hey, Catholic institutions, let's start pooling our resources together to be stronger together, but that's our vision.
Yeah, you again, just to try to get your arms around. I guess one of the things that is kind of popping out to me on what you're talking about is that here we are in 2026. We've known the cliff was coming, 10 years?
Yeah.
And you're saying that there was very little proactivity in higher ed to say what this would look like. Now, the X factor for Gannon has been this concept of the great squashing of international students. Can you talk a bit about that?
Sure. We've had a significant decrease in global applications. I mean, going into this next fall, applications are down 80%. Wow. So it's not 8%. It's 80%. So after the last election and administrative change, Gannon University, we've had some of the highest enrollment in the history of the institution. Just prior to me starting as president in 2023, much of that was built off of global enrollment. Actually, the majority of it was built off of global enrollment. But we were watching the domestic enrollment numbers starting to decline. So the push for the Ursilene strategy was really a response in how are we going to be able to continue to be sustainable if the global market bottomed out. Guess what happened? After the election, we've gone from having roughly 1,400 global students on our campus down to about 500 or 600. Wow. So when you look at budget impact, it's extremely significant. When companies and institutions budget, and you budget for most likely scenario, worst case scenario, best case scenario. This is a worst case scenario when you lose that number of students in a 1-year period, and it's not looking like that's going to be rebounding anytime soon.
You were telling us, I think, last visit too, that this concept that if you think that the global students are paying full price, you're in a competitive scenario now for the remaining global students, and so you're having to discount or offer scholarships just like you had to for domestic, right?
The institutions in the United States realized one of the strategies to address the decrease in domestic enrollment was to pursue students in other countries, international students. So if that competition is increasing, institutions started deploying discount rates, and so it's not accurate that global students come in and pay full tuition. Those days have been over for about 5-6 years.
Can you talk about who's, again, because we talk shop when we're talking about higher ed here. Who's getting unscathed by this? Something tells me that NYU is taking the hit, but maybe Michigan isn't.
The data, Joel, is the large public institutions are doing well. They've seen increased enrollment. Some of what's happened, there's been a lot of pressure in higher ed in general, but especially on the private institutions on the value of higher ed, right? So is that 4-year degree worth it? Am I going to be able to get a good return on the investment? So the publics have looked like better options to the public is, hey, if I'm going to make an investment in higher ed, I could save money if I go to a large public institution. And in some cases, that's simply not the case. When you do look at the cost and you look at the fees, private institutions, especially in the state of Pennsylvania, private institutions graduate students at a lower cost. We graduate more students of color, high-risk students. We actually provide more than 50% of the workforce in healthcare, and we have better retention rates. So you have to look at the long-term return, and the data shows that private institutions do a pretty good job.
Yeah, something again that occurs to me as far as what's going on at iHACK is that really healthcare, where you really can't AI it, number one, like you can a law degree, unfortunately, and you can't, you can stack those skills. It seems like healthcare is still going to be, I mean, your foundation as a nursing school, for example, or a physical therapy or respiratory therapy school is going to serve you well.
You know, Joel, one thing that I don't want to get lost in as president of the university, I try to sound this message over and over again. We are forming humans. You know, this is about people, and AI doesn't replace people. We want to make sure that we are graduating really good engineers, good PTs, good OTs, and speech language pathologists and nurses. But we want great people, because that's what the world needs more now than ever. And a faith-based education rooted in the liberal arts, it does that.
And again, we still need criminal justice people.
Oh,
we still need psychologists and communicators, of course. What else? Like, what are you looking forward to in 2026? Again, some big announcements coming up here. But how are things looking for that 26-27 year as far as admissions and so on?
So we are seeing really good numbers in applications, accepts for our domestic students. Believe me, I always want more, and we'd like to see those numbers continue to climb. We as an institution, like many other institutions, we have to do some restructuring. We have to look at our efficiencies to make sure that we're financially sustainable moving forward. We have a significant decrease in revenue with the loss of global students, so we have to do what strong institutions do, is think about our future and where we want to be 5 years from now. You know, our strengths are healthcare and business and technology, and that's going to be our focus. We're going to continue to look for partnerships. And Ursilene is a growing campus. There's a lot of increased growth, and we also have our Florida campus. So we need to continue to grow the initiatives that we have in place, expand what we're doing in Florida, which is mostly healthcare, and we're going to continue to look at other opportunities to partner with other higher ed institutions and business in our community. What does our community need to be successful? And we need to be in those conversations.
Do you think that there's another Ursilene kind of thing out there?
I would never rule it out, Joel. I would not start that right now, because my leadership team, I might have a mutiny on my hand if I put another project. We have a great team, just hardworking individuals. You know, Joel, I'm so proud of the folks we have at Gannon and across our entire structure. From the folks that are keeping our campus safe to our faculty. You want to talk about this region's grit and toughness and rolling up your sleeves and getting dirty and facing adversity. I mean, we've got the right people in place, and I'm proud to lead them.
Let's talk sports a second here. How are the Knights doing? I need to get to a game.
Oh, Joel, we had a fantastic men's basketball game last night. Number 10 Gannon in the country faced Damon University, number 2, and we won.
Wow!
It was an awesome game. I mean, what a defense we put on. Women's basketball, another top 10 ranked program in the country. The women's team is doing wonderful. Men's wrestling has been ranked as high as number 2 in the country. And do we have? Can I share a story?
Yes,
with you?
please. Yeah, you got.
So I gotta share this fantastic story. We have our heavyweight wrestler. He's Erie young man, Dorian Crosby. Dorian had a great wrestling career at Prep, went on to Bucknell, came back to Gannon. He finished 3rd in the country last year, heavyweight, NCAA All-American. He had a dream. I met with Dorian and Jasmine, his beautiful wife, and said, Dorian, what do you want to accomplish? He said, Doctor, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher in the Erie schools because I want to give up. I grew up in Erie. I want to give back. So Dorian graduated. On his Facebook, he posted his new ID with the Erie Public Schools as a teacher, so he's working full time. Dorian had also felt a little bit like, hey, I want to give the national championship another shot. So worked with our coaches, worked with Erie Public Schools. Dorian right now is teaching 3rd grade. He is taking graduate classes. He's competing. He's wrestling for us. It's an incredible story. If anybody wants to come and watch men's wrestling, we are on tomorrow. Check out our website for the times. But you got this young man. He's the heavyweight, right? So he is the nicest person you ever want to meet. He gets on the mat, Joel. I would not. I don't know. I'm going the other direction if Dorian's coming at me, because he is one of those athletes that his whole demeanor changes when he gets on the mat, and he's just fantastic. We're so proud of him.
That is exciting. I mean, amazing to hear. These nationally ranked athletes, student athletes. Coming out of Gannon University. Dr. Walter Iwanenko, the president, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
It's great to be here, Joel. Always a pleasure to talk.
You've been listening to The Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast from TalkErie.com. Subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher and get involved by emailing joel@TalkErie.com.